Hello everybody, this is Official1 back again with another video. This time as Malcolm in the Middle, Season 1, Episode 5. This time it's Malcolm is a babysitter or something like that. This one basically revolves around the fact that Malcolm wants a new robotics kit, so he has to go and do the babysitting. And the way that he feels that that family is sort of better than his own, and also the fact that the Malcolm's family, parents and all, you have to move out into a caravan because their house is getting debugged and exterminated, and then so the fact that they have to just have a new sort of relationship outside of the house and have to be really close together and just forcing them to have a lot of family time and a lot of attention. Of course, in this episode, we get to see all the family. We get to see Lois and Hal obviously working as parents. Malcolm with a different family, as we'll see. They cause havoc at the start of the episode, the boys, and just how the way they work. So let's go over to Malcolm's story first. In the episode, he wants, to get the money for babysitting, but don't know how much he gets. He's sort of like questioning what's going to happen during the babysitting, and he finds that he's sitting at a rich house and gets loads of money. And he gets sort of suspicious. He calls Francis a bit through the episode, like 3/4 of the way through, just wondering after a few days what's like, how, not really suspecting anything as such, but just that what's going on. To figure out this sort of storyline, we get to the point where Malcolm figures out that he's being filmed by the parents, and he films something telling the parents he's quitting, that he's hacked into all their accounts, and just how he's figured out like really well, and just shows his genius throughout the episode. He shows his genius especially here. And it's really good when he shows this. I really enjoyed this bit, of course. And Malcolm performing top notch again. The parents were actually pretty good. I like the actors who played them. Malcolm also gets to talk to his own family a bit, especially Hal, where he gets to just do a bit of talking with him and Hal, and a bit in the episode where he's talking to Hal. And he feels he doesn't belong. And Hal tells him that he has the most, definitely opportunity than anybody else in his family to be just a hero in their world. And he can do a lot with his life. And it's alright if he gets fired, or he quits his job. But Hal feels sort of hopeless to himself. And of course, there's another storyline with Francis that we saw in the previous episode. Francis, no, not the previous episode, the episode before that, but Francis definitely getting his part of the story now. His storyline sort of begins when he gets the keys to all well, he's there with his friend, and he gets the keys to all the rooms in Marlin Academy. And he decides that he's going to, find out all the secrets of the school, but finds it's not as, interesting as he thought it was, until he finds a rotting corpse which is left, and he finds sort of all the story about how it's, how just he was a janitor and it was one of them in the school, and his name was, I think his name was well, I'm not quite sure what his name was, but it says it during the episode. So he gets all his friends involved, and they all sort of get involved in different ways. But the cadets get there and they finally say farewell to Lester. That's his name. Lester, they sort of, Francis makes a big speech that he is one of them who needs to be remembered. He might not have gotten the greatest life, but he's a hero for them. He's like their sign of hope. So they say farewell, and they put him on a boat and light it on fire, and it blows up the boathouse, and they all run away. So there, that was Francis during the episode. His friend is pretty good. So let's get to the main storyline, I think. So the overriding message or story in the story was basically going on the family storyline between you know, the parents. So that sort of started when during the start of the episode, Lois notices that there's bugs in the house, and they have to move out because Hal finds the nest. They're like, we gotta get out here. They get exterminators in, and it takes like 5 or 6 days to get rid of all the extermination to do it. I don't know why. They have to put like a big tent. It's like a big deal in the whole town, and neighbors sort of see this and all. And they have to move out to a caravan like right outside the house, and it's getting really warm. So in the caravan we've got like 4 people, and Malcolm's sort of hanging around. We've got like the 3 children, and then we've got Hal and Lois, Mum and Dad. There they are, and a tension grows between the two, and they find out that they're like, Hal puts this perfectly, he doesn't really know what he's fighting about, but for some reason they're having these fights, and it's growing worse, and he's talking to other people about it, but they sort of just have a tension building up, and it's really warm, and they find a way to reconnect through their love life, and at the end of the episode, so they get a way back into that. Now, Hal was enjoyable, as always, and so was Lois. Lois was great. So, yeah, that was good. I thought, yeah, I guess Dewey and Reese is pretty good. Reese is pretty good this episode. So, yeah, that was the sort of main like, point of the story, was that, the relationship can still be, just how weird the family's relationships, I'm not sure, but, like, it can be solved, and all their strong families just brought back together, and their places are there in the family. Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty all it has to say, in all this episode. For me, served, probably not one I would revisit too soon. It was alright. Once again, having some funny moments with the posh house, and Malcolm, for that I would revisit. And, yeah, Hal was pretty good in this episode. And not the strongest performance from Lois or Malcolm, but, you know what? There's episodes to come, so this has been Tippy Official 1. Enjoy, and just let me comment below and see what you think of this episode. Subscribe.